What is up, guys? It's your boy Sesko from Video Games Underground, and today is another AMA review. Um, these AMAs are actually getting really good. Last week's was pretty awesome. I actually made a post on Twitter and tagged TarGar. I call her TarGar, but Targaryen girl, and she actually retweeted and liked the post that I made. Last week was pretty awesome. This week's was even more awesome, to be honest with you. This is how it started. Spider basically posted AMA was getting ready to start. Everybody got excited. Joe Ash was complaining about the awards. Mike did pop in. He did say that June 10th is beta testing for what I believe is 4.4. Yeah, there it is, 4.410. He's basically saying it's a weird release. There isn't a single big feature, just about 14 small sub-features that will have a big impact to how you collect in a good and efficient way. So he's basically saying you're not going to notice anything crazy. It's not going to be something massive, but you're going to really appreciate the things that are there. Undercover said, okay, thanks you guys. Now, how rare are they? I have over 200 of each item. No shiny left, my ass off. I don't know. It all depends on how the odd sets were set up. I can look after they may have been were pulled. I know a lot of people were questioning them about shinies and the way they have them set up now. It seems like the growing majority of people do not like them. Will they make a change? I have no idea. So let's see. Shout out King Day. King Day said, can we get an updated time frame of when we can mint our items? Is it still currently our schedule or pushed? And Mike said, mostly on schedule. The challenge is a custom smart contract. Once you deploy to the Ethereum, it's well permanent. I think we have a contract. Excuse me. Golly. We'll have a contract on the testnet in a week or so. NFTs are fascinating, no? All the OGs on Quidd are like the people are like the people that liked the band before they were popular. True. Let's see. So I have to admit, I had two accounts. I was Real Gale and Real Marshmallow. Man, I miss Real Marshmallow. You know what's crazy is I actually talked to Real Gale, not realizing that it was Michael. I thought it was like an old lady or something. There's a couple of times where I messaged Real Gale on the game, not realizing that was even like a staff member. I just thought it was somebody like, you know, like mod or just somebody that had been around for a long time. I don't think the noobs realized that Bob's Burgers and Star Trek's for a year. This was Bob's Burgers and Star Trek app for a year. Basically just giving shout outs to Bob Burger and Star Trek for basically getting it all started. Fan Crazy still here. Yes, Wax. Really? Wax, yes, it is a chain we're looking at. The order that we make wax minting available is still to be determined, but there's a place for wax for sure. Damn. Wax is smart as a chain. EOS forked, ideas right from OP's skins. They might be the true pioneers to digital goods tradings. I had the pleasure of meeting the wax folks in LA in 2019. It was like meeting a Bond villain, but in a good way. Basically, don't sleep on wax, because don't sleep on the people behind wax. Wax will not be the first chain to mint to Ethereum. I guess Ethereum is going to be the very first chain to get minted to. So then I popped in a little bit late, but fast shouldn't be late like always. I was just letting him know that Targaryen girl had liked my post. I used the Napoleon Dynamite. She's kind of a big deal. Asia was there. Shout out to Asia. That's pretty awesome. Mike said, dude, we can't get TG back. Meaning Targaryen girl. He was talking about doing a Game of Thrones reunion. It's pretty cool that we associate channels to certain people. And Mike is pretty adamant about trying to get these channels back together. Seems like he really wants these people to come back and take part in the game, and he's willing to do what it takes. So about this point, Spider announced that she was going to start giving out random attendance prizes. I forgot who won the first one, but I know who won the second one because it was me. I actually got $5. It was pretty awesome. The prize was $5. Gift shop, I tried. Okay, so this is when we kind of started posting stuff. The first thing I posted was I like the old shiny system where they were like inserts. The other day, they had a set where if you collected the shinies, you got 20 million, and not one person bothered. It was a, oh man, what was it? Quidd gallery? No, it wasn't gallery. It was a gift shop. That's what it was. It was gift shop, and it was like stamps. And the original set had like 12, but the shinies were 4. All you had to do is get all 4 of the shinies, and you got 20 million coins. Not one person pulled either of the first 2. There was like 3 of the second or third one, and like 2 of the fourth one, but nobody pulled any of the first or second ones. And I mean, I'm not gonna say like I blew a lot of coins. I did blow a lot, but I don't remember how many I blew. But I didn't get a single one. And I'm not saying, oh yeah, if I spend 500k, I should guarantee the shiny. But if you're cracking open 500k worth of coin packs, and they're like 99, 1k each. I mean, golly, you would think you would at least get one. But unfortunately, the numbers were just not in my favor that day. Just headmod 18. I found an item I need and the user has a dupe of it. Mike. Mike came back and he said, alright, how do we do this? We will not email number 1 holders. It's not our role. But like, how do we collectively bring back the OGs? I thought giving them the option to log in, list for cash, cash out would work, but where are they? I mean, I get getting lucky and having the number 1 and not realizing the value, but working hard for an amazing collection and then walking away, especially now, makes no sense. And he's basically saying like all these people that walked away have no idea what they're walking away for. And it's true. A lot of these people that I've been contacting, they're like, yeah, Quidd's dead, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, okay, well, you can sell stuff for money now. What? And, and I have to break it down to them. And I don't know if I took a picture of it, but I did make a statement a little bit later, kind of just talking about how right now there's not many things that have value in the game. And when I say value, I mean that will sell for good money. I do know the awards, especially number 1, sell for good money. But aside from that, and aside from certain people who spend money, there's not much else to be made. And that's the hard part right now. And that's the situation that we're in, unfortunately. Trying to figure out where a real value sets in on all these items, because we can talk all day and say, oh yes, it's worth this much, but at the end of the day, who's willing to pay that? So shout out to FV Bricks, called us the most consistent Quidd YouTuber. Guys, man, I'm sorry. I stayed up late last night helping my wife with her midterm, and it's kicking my butt today, man. Let's see. Sorry, okay, so this is Spider speaking on the Bob Awards. She's saying, sorry, I know that they were working on them yesterday. Didn't realize they were out yet. They were not out yet. They'll be there soon. And what do you say? AMA for you. Do you tell your friends you quit? And if you do, what do you say? Tesco might be the first dedication. I have no idea what that is, but whoop whoop. I didn't catch that part. I'm just seeing it right now through this picture that we took. So here I'm just kind of bullshitting, but I'm also being kind of serious because this is exactly what I was talking about. Hey, here's the issue, Mike. Do you mind if I call you Mike? I'm just messing with him, but these collections they are coming back to are massive, but aren't worth what they believe them to be worth, at least not yet. I personally brought back multiple people, and when we try to liquidate their accounts, they get depressed and wind up just offering me their accounts. With the exception of certain items, most old stuff has no value, and this is the truth. And it's hard. It's a hard pill to swallow, but you have, like, let's take TarGar for instance. I have not been through her account because it is so freaking massive. But there's only going to be certain people that will pay what most of us, and to include TarGar, would believe her collection to be worth. There's to a lot of people on this game, just having a completed set or having most of the sets completed, there's not much value in that because there's nothing awarded through it. And that's why I was telling them you should be able to complete a channel without the awards being accounted in there, because the awards just screw everything up. Especially the 101s, the 103s, the 105s, 102s, 109, like all that is, it's cool. I get it. It gives you something to really shoot for, but to be 100% honest with you, that kind of, and I agree with a lot of the people that used to play the game at the time and that walked away, those awards really screwed the game up because you took awards for being something awesome, something super rare, something that you really, when you got it, it was massively enjoyed too. Now where it's just like, it's kind of like, how everybody gets awards now. If you're in like my kids, they got first place, and I was talking to one of the other parents, and the trophies that the kids in second place got were actually bigger than the ones that the kids in first place got. And I didn't think it was a big deal, but then one later on, my daughter was like, "Hey, Dad, why is my trophy smaller than second place?" And I had no answer. It's like, well, we didn't realize second place was going to be getting trophies. Number one, and number two, we didn't realize that they were going to spend more money on the trophies than what we were. We bought what were considered to be the normal first place trophies that we've gotten through this our league for many years, and we never questioned it. But now that everybody, it just seems like, unfortunately, the awards have little to no value. Like the other day, I had pulled a Venom. It was like a 1 of 13. It was probably one of the nicest awards that I'd seen in a long time. I honestly thought it was a beautiful award. Like, it could have been a gallery award. But when it came time to sell it, none had ever been sold. None. And I'd had it for maybe, like, I don't know, a month or two. And when I tried to sell it, I started at like 99, or I think I started above 100. Because I figured, oh, it's Venom. It's a beautiful award. Nothing. I don't think I sold it until I got down to like $39 or $34. And I mean, it hurt to sell it that low. It really did. But that's the current situation of our market. There's so many awards that what are you going to spend your money on? To the people that are trying to maintain and trying to have as much of a channel that's completed as they can, I got a lot of respect for you, because I'm sure you're blowing all kinds of money trying to complete your channels, because right now it's impossible. It's, at least for me, like I said before, I'm a dad, 4 kids. Hey man, I bust my ass for a living, but at the same time, I would love to be able to have Quidd Labs where it's almost completed. But at the same time, like, number one, nobody that has the old stuff is even around anymore. And number two, the people that do have the stuff that is there, their prices are just out of touch with the market. The market right now, awards have value, but little to none. Like a 99 count outside of the top 10 is probably worth $1. Inside the top 10, maybe a few bucks. 2 or 1, you're looking at maybe $30, $40. Even if it's a Marvel, super hard to sell. I have 2 Marvel number 1s right now that I probably won't get $30 for. But that's just the situation that we're in. It's the awards and the amount of them have driven down the value of everything. So the old stuff, you're looking at stuff from 2016, 2017. You would imagine, like, man, dude, these are almost 5-6 years old. They got to be worth money. But then it's like, well, who's collecting this? Supply and demand. Is there a demand for the supply that we have? If there's not, then it's not worth very much. And unfortunately, right now, a lot of just the old stuff where they weren't a massive amount of awards, they just don't have as much value as anything else. So it's kind of like a case-by-case basis, I guess, but it does suck when you hype somebody up and you tell them, like, yeah, Quidd's selling for money now, blah, blah, blah. And then they come, they're like, okay, help me sell my account. And I'm sitting there and I'm going through their stuff, and they have thousands and thousands of items, and it's like, oh man, yeah, you could post this all for like 99 cents or 80 cents and hope for the best. And it's got to be soul crushing for them to know, like, damn, here's my account that's 4 or 5, 6 years old, and you're telling me I got to sell all my items for $1. But and it's it's super hard for me to tell them that. It really is, but it's the truth, and sometimes the truth hurts, I guess. There are items out there that do pull good money. There are items out there. The picnic puzzle that I got, anything that's going to be minted, almost anything that's mintable is going to be over a few bucks at least. I know they did the horror release the other day where everything was mintable. Those are all maybe a buck or two. I wouldn't pay more than that for them, but we'll see how it goes little by little. Mike did comment on the bulk print transfer or full account transfer. TT wants to liquidate GOT. We can help. So he's talking about TarGar girl right there, saying, hey, if she just wants to come back just to sell, we'll help her out. I really feel there should be a award, and this is me again talking about, making it to where there's a reason for people to collect the older stuff, or making it to where there's a reason for people to spend money on stuff. I really feel there should be awards for completion of the channels, with the accepting of awards which ruin the game for most players. There should be seasons so the channels don't look like shit. Disney Season 1, aka Year 1. Right here, what I'm saying is, if you go to Marvel right now, to scroll from top to bottom will legitimately take you, if you're doing it really, really fast, probably 30 seconds. But if you're just scrolling normally, it can take up to a minute. And if you're scrolling, just reading and looking, it literally will take you a minute to get from top to bottom. So why not break the releases down by year? Or I mean, even maybe normal releases, collector's edition releases, 99 Club releases. You know what I mean? There needs to be some kind of a breakdown. And I also think that should be done on the player profiles. Because when I go to somebody's profile and I'm looking for something that I know they have, let's just say I know they have Panini, but they just posted 150 Mickey Mouse items. Why do I gotta scroll through all the fucking Mickey Mouse items just to find that one Panini thing that he's selling that I want? I don't know. To me, there should be some kind of a separation, or a better, setup where you don't have to go through all this stuff. Let's see what else. Oh, so this is when the #1 quitter in the world, Spider, hooked me up with the attendance prize. I got the second one. I was super hyped, had no idea what it was until I got on my account. Oh, and then look. Dun, 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 dun. I just emailed Beast for the first time in 4 years. Boom. For those of you that don't know who Beast is, he means Mr. Beast. Yes, the legend. We were talking about it. We were telling Mike how awesome it'd be if Beast came back, and then out of nowhere, Mike just messages us and tells us, I emailed Beast. So we may be seeing something with Beast coming up. And then right after this, boom, 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 TarGar girl. She popped in. Why is this a big deal? Because she is one of the biggest members of our community who has stepped away because of her position against some of the changes that Quidd had implemented. Her and a multitude of other OG players had taken time away from the game because they weren't happy with where the game was. And last week, I made it a point to talk about Mike and the things that he said, to include mentioning how apologetic he was towards people like TarGar girl, and how he would love to see them come back. Well, I follow her on Twitter, and I made sure to tag her, and then sure enough, she wound up retweeting my post and liking the post as well. So that was pretty awesome. I was really excited, and possibility of her maybe showing up to the AMA, and then sure enough, here she is. I was really hyped about that. I thought that was pretty cool. So I said, "Oh my God, she showed up." She's like, "Who?" And I was like, "You." I'm serious. I was really excited that she actually made the time to come out. So she said, "I'm glad you tagged me on Twitter. The shout out made my day." That's pretty awesome, man. Pretty awesome. So there was a lot of people that were complaining about Quidd today. As somebody that has worked with multiple studios and who has seen the struggle to maintain releases like this and to have them on time, I can tell you that it is very, very time consuming. And while they are normally the people that do these things are responsible for like a million other things. So while they're doing a million other things, that one daily thing that takes just a few moments may be forgotten. And it happens all the time. This is not something that you can sit there and fault them for. Or, trust me, whatever it is that they're doing that's more important than Quid today, I'm not faulting them for. I'm sure there's something that is way more important than Quid today that they are responsible for. But Mike did say it's a very manual system right now. There's no automation between publishing and promoting. In the future, please be patient. Blah, blah, blah. He said, I think Quid today will go away. So what will they put in its place? I have no idea. It does suck, but I guess all the complaints are being heard. So congratulations to you guys who are complaining about it. So TarGar said, hi Michael, what's new and how do I sell my stuff? I keep listing but haven't sold anything for a while. Michael said, hi long-time listener, first-time caller. Should we run a Game of Thrones reunion to help sell? Which I think would be awesome. Kawaii girl, or Kawaii cat, sorry. She saw the tweet and wanted to come say hi, which is freaking awesome. Mike does comment on bigger teams and the size of the Quidd team. He's saying, I don't think bigger teams means bigger success. And I can attest for that. There was a game that I used to play that when it was ran by a smaller studio was freaking awesome and was massively successful to the point where Glue purchased the game. And when Glue purchased the game, they did everything in their power to run it straight into the ground, even though they had a bigger team and more resources and blah, blah, blah. It made it to where everything was, I don't even know how to explain it. Decisions that were made were just piss poor. There were so many more people involved that it took longer to do everything and just made it to where it wasn't as successful as it was when it was ran by a smaller group. So, let me see. Should we do a live stream? Quidd, Michael messages me or he posts. He's all, Sesko, should we do a live stream together? No holds barred. We can throw chairs and stuff. Y'all know me. I'm always down for a live stream. I love doing live streams. I would love to do a live stream with Michael. Maybe we can hop on together and just kind of maybe review a new release or something, or even give our input on packs that maybe are coming out before they come out. I'm down for this game. I'm down to help the community of this game. I really like this game. I would like to see the community continue to grow. I would like to see Quidd taken more seriously by people who are trying to replicate what Quidd does. I have every app that you can buy a collector item or virtual item or any of that other crap, and I can tell you, nobody does it like Quidd does. There may be more users here, there may be better 3D images here, but nobody does collecting like Quidd does. And once this whole transferring from game to the virtual marketplace happens, I really feel like Quidd is going to get the leg up on just everyone. So we will see what happens. I'm sure Mike and Spider and all the other people at Quidd are going to do everything they can to ensure that it's successful. So time will tell. Fingers crossed. I'm sure we'll be fine. I really appreciate you guys checking out the video. More than anything, TarGar, I really appreciate you watching and appreciate you showing up to the AMA. Mike, Spider, thank you guys. I really appreciate y'all taking the time to come out and hang out with us, and even more so the $5, which I have not spent yet. Trying to think exactly what I want to blow it on, but God bless, guys. I hope you have an amazing weekend. I'll talk to y'all soon. Later.